Yeah, fellow Nigerians, good morning from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the anchor of Nigeria now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. How are you all doing? This is a broadcast, a clarion call to all Nigerians to wake up and unite against the evil that is being perpetrated against them. Times are not normal, and but it is only we, the people of Nigeria, that can solve this problem. I stumbled on a tweet, about the division, the plan to divide the Nigerian Labour Congress, over a fuel subsidy removal, fuel subsidy that does not even exist in the first place, and they have there's a serious effort to politicize the Nigerian Labour Congress against its tradition. And this thing, I saw it at the beginning of this electioneering campaign, when Bola Tinubu, um, with some of his goons from the southwest, forming an alliance with some people who call themselves criminals, who call themselves northern leaders or northern political elites or whatever they call it. In the supposed one Nigeria, you're telling me about the northern, and you are ganging up against, you are forming an alliance between southwest and the north. What kind of nonsense is that, for real? This thing has been going on for a very long time, and somebody needs to speak to this issue. These people don't represent the interest of anybody but their own personal selfish interest, and that bullshit has to come to an end. The first time a similar thing happened was when El-Rufai, his appointment to speak at the conference of the Nigerian Bar Association was cancelled because of what was happening in Kaduna under his watch. The murder by Fulani militias, killing people indiscriminately in their villages, burning villages down, and he was there doing absolutely nothing. The people said, yeah, with so much blood in your state, we can't have you coming to speak here. And you know what? Some foolish, stupid elements, as always, created Northern Nigerian Bar Association. This is the same dirty cards that they have been playing. Nigerians, you got to wake up, especially the Yorubas now, for real, because I'm speaking from experience with the benefit of history, right? We got to unite this country for the good of all of us. So the Yorubas of Nigeria, so you guys must open your eyes very clearly, for real. I know there are a lot of you who are supporting Peter Obi and Atiku and all that. Yes, which is good, but you must be very, 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 very careful. Very, very careful. These elements are the offshoots of these elements that created the Nigerian genocide that they call civil war. And how did they operate? They use the south, where I come from, Niger Delta. They use some elements, some leaders, some gullible people, ignorant leader. And one of the persons they used was Saro Wiwa, Ken Saro Wiwa. Yes, they made him administrator of Bonny, and then he gave them an entrance into the heartland of Igbo land where they committed all kinds of mayhem. It wasn't a Nigeria, what they say, Nigerian civil war was not a civil war, it was a tribal war. And this is what they're about to start again. And again, the same people are being ganged up against. The target is always the Igbo man. The Igbos are always the target. What did the Igbos of Nigeria do to the people of Nigeria? And this is something that we must, talk about. This is something that has to end now for us to organically really unite Nigeria. Yeah, what we are saying is members of the Nigerian Labour Congress in northern and southwestern part of Nigeria will not join the NLC strike. Signed, Gidado. What kind of nonsense is that? So if we are doing this, it means you have invalidated your citizenship of Nigeria. You are no Nigerians if you are ganging up against a section of Nigeria. That is un-Nigerian. That is un-African. That is unpatriotic. And why are they doing this? Because an Igbo man is the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress. And they assume, because of their hate, that he will be working or is working for Peter Obi, who aspired to be the president of the whole Nigeria and did not aspire to be the president of Igbo. Nigerians, please, please, don't eat this bait. The Yorubas of Nigeria, don't eat this bait. You have a lot of enlightened people. Yeah, the level of political consciousness in your region is high enough for you not to attempt this bait. It's destructive, it's divisive, and it can come back to haunt. It can come back to haunt your region if this is the type of politics that we'll be playing in Nigeria. We are looking for a way to open Nigeria, to unite Nigeria organically, so that everybody will feel safe and secure wherever he is. And any Nigerian can aspire to be whatever he or she wants to be without fear or favor. So that's the country that we want to build. Not this old English Nigeria, old England Nigeria, that we started from independence, that has never worked for us because of this primordial sentiment, this ethnic rivalry, this gang up nonsense. In the 21st century, you are doing regional gang up. I hear some people come tell me that Igbos are not white, they don't have wisdom. They are Nigerians, they are acting like Nigerians. Why do they have to have special wisdom to deal with other people? They are Nigerians, you are Nigerians. Every other person in this whole thing is a Nigerian. Why can't we look at the content of character rather than the color of ethnicity in this 21st century politics in Nigeria? All right. When Nasser El-Rufai speaking engagement, his invitation to NBA conference in 2020 was cancelled for his inability to stop the carnage, the killings in Kaduna. A group with regional allegiance to him announced the formation of Northern Nigeria's Bar Association. Today, a more dangerous gang up against the unity and the destiny of Nigeria, driven by Igbophobia and political opportunism, has been made manifest because an Igbo Nigerian asking some very serious questions on behalf of all of the suffering people of Nigeria is the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, what is left of Nigeria and what is left for the Nigerians? APC has come to destroy Nigeria. And the most patriotic thing to do is for Nigerians to stand up to retake their country. Yes, this is dangerous, the dangers of a divisive regional gang up against the unity and the destiny of Nigeria because of the greed and the desperation of one man called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has planted evil in the Labour Party, factional fights going on there. No thanks for to his corrupting that they say is deft political moves. No, this guy has come to want to take down the whole of the country. And we cannot fold our arms and allow him do it. Nigerians from all parts of Nigeria, north, south, east, and west, Nigerians of conscience, this is a call to your conscience to wake up and let us rebuild Nigeria on a brand new foundation where every opinion, where everybody will be accommodated. This dangerous move is not good. It's very, very ominous. And we have a very, very far-reaching consequence for our country if we don't do something now. Now. This Igbophobia needs to end. It's useless. Why? This APC being piloted by some eminently corrupt, unpatriotic, and rascally ignorant religious, tribal, regional bigots and extremists driven by econopolitical opportunism and Igbophobia is out to destroy Nigeria. The only thing you and I can do, genuine patriots like you and I can do and must do, is to unite and destroy the party at all levels and retake our country. Bola Tinubu, if allowed, will be worse than Buhari, as his desperate search for this legitimacy is driving him nuts, and as such is determined to wreck all of the country's institutions that will stand in his way after buying some corrupt and morally bankrupt traditional rulers and fake religious leaders from across the country, outside enjoying the backing of his criminal white-collar accomplices from the organized exploiters from the private sector, also known as corporate Nigeria. And these are the men who own all the banks through which the people of Nigeria are nickel and dimed for every little transaction they make, and in effect, the economy of their country. These are the people who sabotage Nigeria. And their latest is the deadly ammunition of a private refinery built with Nigeria's commonwealth, Nigeria's money, just commissioned to complete their hostile takeover of Nigeria. Why 99% of their countrymen and main Nigerians live in extreme poverty? It is sad that most Nigerians don't see anymore or hear the voice of reason to inspire them to think outside their unfortunate prison of poverty-motivated hate for one another and against the Igbos of Nigeria. The tribal, regional, religious, and partisan political nationalist instinct created by rogues who physically and mentally exploit them in their for them to live in their inordinate opulence. Nigerians, wake up. Nigerians, get up. Nigerians, stop allowing yourself to be used by these no good enemies of Nigeria. They don't mean well for you. They don't mean well for me. They don't mean well for the future of Nigeria. They don't mean well for the well-being of this country. If you love this country now, regardless of where you come from, you are an Igbo man, you are a Yoruba man, you are anything, it's time for all of us to get up and resist these people. Because if we allow them, they will destroy our country and we will cry for it. Isn't it time we really introspect? Isn't it time we think seriously about where we want Nigeria to be? Isn't it time we take ownership of Nigeria? Isn't it time we take hold of Nigeria? How long shall we stand aside and look while less than 1% of our country's population deal us these bad cards? It's time. People, diasporans, people who were taken into captivity, the descendants of slaves, are crying for Africa. They want Africa to unite. And we in the motherland are destroying Africa. Hear Zigimali and his brothers on their trip to South Africa. Hear them. Yeah, now I tell you, people, those who say they are obedient movement, you do Peter Obi a huge favor. Peter Obi is not going to ask you to go into the streets. He's playing safe because of the Nigerian system. It is you who will understand that this struggle is not about him. It is you with whom he is running for the presidency. From what I heard him say a lot of times, that he's running with the Nigerian people, he's running this race with the Nigerian young people. You see, there is no elite, there is no emir behind you, there is no Dangote behind you, there's no Tony Elumelu behind you, there's none of all those big bank owners, Femi Otedola, behind you. They are all behind their man, the man, one of their members of the cabals. Do you have any sultan standing behind you, threatening that the nothing will stop the inauguration of Tinubu? Do you have the thief called Asari Dokubo? All right, who has suddenly become a witch? I hear he doesn't take a shower only 2 times in a year. That pig. You see, do you have any of them? Do you have Tompolo standing behind you? It is only you that you have. And you know what? You outnumber them. You are more in number. Why are you afraid of the witches and wizards? I was crying when I saw Abuja taken over by hoodlums. They took over, and all our people were held inside. Wow. 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 Asari Dokubo was running his dirty mouth with audacity on the street of our nation's capital. I was so sick seeing that ugly pig, making that loud noise unchallenged. I began to wonder, where are our big GOs who have all the big churches in Abuja? Where were they? Nobody came out. Witches and wizards that we ban and bind took over our nation's capital. I was so sick seeing that. I was like, what the hell is going on in Nigeria? So the beasts from Niger Delta, where I come from, hear him.
We have seen all the people, all the anti-democratic elements, we have seen them. Those who have been pretending, we have seen them. Those who do not want this country to change, we have seen them. Anybody who knows Lagos know that there was no metro in Lagos before. Anybody who knows Lagos know that there was no BRT in Lagos before. Anybody who knows Lagos know that the small way they were using in Lagos before. Anybody who knows Agege Motor Road knows what it looks like. Yet, they cannot show an equivalent of what Bola Tinubu had done. And yet, they open their mouth to talk rot. We are here. They beat up their party chairman and Papa the other day. They harassed a stand in the court today. Is it true, Elia? The juries decide, the wise men, because it is unwise. Nigerians have voted, we have lost time. We should go. We should go home and prepare for a new government, open a new page, open a new chapter in our life, than distracting us. Let us not distract Jagaban. What he performed in Lagos is going to multiply it here.
I wonder where Ijaw elders are, where these hoodlums are destroying the name of their once revered Egbesu. young men on drugs, oil thieves are using the name of a Gbesu to come and disturb national peace after they have been paid off. Look at that ugly pig. An oil thief is now a hero in Nigeria. Nigeria, you guys need to fix something. Something is not right. So I wonder why everybody ran away, ran into their holes for these talks. This is the type of leadership Tinubu will represent. God forbid. He's not my president, and I know he's not the president of members of Open Nigeria, and he should not be president of anybody but drug users and drug dealers like him. Shame, shame. This Nigeria has become a joke of a country. Nigeria has become a junk of a country. So I'm calling on you who say you are members of the obedient movement. Why did you go to sleep so soon? You need to wake up and reenact what made your movement such a big movement. You need to go talk to yourself. Now, I want to show you the new way of protesting. You don't have to rent vehicles and to go to Abuja. No, that's not where the action is. Everybody shut down your hometown. Everybody, if you live in a village, come out in your village where you know people, where you have access to food, where everybody knows everybody, where when you are hungry during the protest, you can go inside your home, drink some water, if not Gary, take some Gary, fill your stomach, and come back to the streets. Sustain it. If you live in Abuja, come out in Abuja, take action there. I don't believe people have come to ask me for money. They want to rent a bus. They want to do logistics to what? Sacrifice is what everybody needs to make right now. Sacrifice was what the Egyptians made to get Hosni Mubarak out of power. Sacrifice was what they did to get Morsi out of power. Sacrifice was what they did until they got their president that they believed they could work with. Nobody paid them. So this attitude of you, Nigerian, especially the young Nigerians, expecting that somebody has to give them money before they go and fight for their lives and fight for their future has to come to an end. Nobody has so much money now. The money is in the hands of the thieves led by Bola Tinubu. You see what they did with the Naira redesignation. They did it just because of him. Now you see the scam that the elites of Nigeria have been performing on us. So it is time for you to wake up. So when they call for court action, you who is in Abuja, go in your numbers and go there. There's no need to ferry somebody from Delta State to there because the money is not in the hands of the people. They have stripped everybody bare. So wherever you are, is the court. Wherever you are, if you're in Abuja, come out en masse. Don't come in the scanty number of people who come to the court proceeding. You don't have to all be inside the court. Let your massive number be outside the court and be singing and, demanding for change. Instead of everybody sitting down, you are praying to Jesus 24 hours. You don't pray without moving. God will not answer that prayer. God is mobile. God is action. When you pray, you got to walk. That's what this moment demands right now. So, Peter Obi, I hope somebody shares this message, in a manner that it will get to you. It's time for you to rejig your base. It's time for you, if you have to do a nationwide tour for another 20 days, set it aside and do that tour and move. Get the base energized once again for action. Don't sit down in one place and expect people, because some of the young people are complaining that they are not hearing enough. I don't know what that means, hearing enough. But what I'm saying now is that we should change the way we protest, as this whole thing is going on. Because if you send someone to Abuja, the bus driver is going to expect that after a certain time, he's going to want to drive back to Abuja to continue his work the following day, because we are in for a long haul. So this is not, everybody has to remain where they are familiar with. Remain in their villages, remain in their hamlets, remain in their towns, remain in their cities, remain in their state. It is easier, it is cost effective. Nobody is going to be putting hand in the pocket. If those who are protesting truly love Nigeria, they will come out. And when they are tired for a few minutes, they can go inside their house, come back, drink some water, and come back and continue until justice is done. If we shut down the country, not just shutting down Central Bank, shut down the entire country, Satan will obey. That is what. And the safety issue that has always been at the mouth of everybody will be things squarely dealt with. Because if I'm in my hometown protesting, I don't see that police who will come and be shooting me for coming out to express my opinion. It is when they come to Abuja, they know that those people don't know where they are. They will come and cause this kind of mayhem that will unsettle them. And before we know it, people are dying. I know Nigerians love lives. They love life. They want to live forever. So if that is the case, we have to adapt whatever way we are using to react to this situation to their way, so that they will continue to have their life. And then hopefully we win, and then we move forward. But for this monster to take over the reign of power in Nigeria, it will be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Nigerians, you all have a role to play in this. And everybody must wake up and do his or her own part. It is not something only one person can do. It is not only Peter Obi's work. It is going to take a lot of effort to make this thing happen. We are not used to sustaining actions. That is part of the problem that we have. But we have to learn now to make it happen. Otherwise, we will just lose this fight that we had already won. Remember, at the first time I said it, that it is not going to be an easy thing. It is not going to be an easy thing. Hello. Hello. Hello, Yerima.
Okay, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. How is everything?
Everything is fine. You are on air. I am doing my program on Nigeria now. So tell me what is happening in Adamawa.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we lost him. Yes, that was one of my guys out there in Adamawa. I wanted to hear from him what is taking place in that place. But we lost him. I guess he's going to call back again. Yes, so this is the situation we are in. So everybody localize your action. It will help us promote safety, and then save ourselves from being shot by those trigger-happy policemen, most of whom don't know their rights. Most of whom don't understand that their job is to protect the people of Nigeria and not to protect the drivers of evil in Nigeria. So if you are a Peter Obi supporter and you truly love him, you want a better Nigeria, and you mean it from your heart of heart, you must make sacrifice. You must make sacrifice. Don't stop expecting. If you were one of those who expect that somebody had to pay you in order to be able to go out to protest. No. If somebody pays you to go and protest, very soon the payment will be over and you'll be expecting more payment. And that makes it most difficult for those who want to come and speak on your behalf. So what we are all doing, including me, I'm sacrificing a lot. So you at home, you must do your own part. You must sacrifice. That is the only way. So whatever you want to do, I'm talking to the leadership now. I know a lot of you are hearing me. Go and re-strategize. Go and re-strategize. Stop emphasizing on money. Re-strategize. Let people, everybody stay in your locality where you know people, where you have access to food, where you have access to everything, where your safety can be guaranteed. Don't travel to Abuja. Don't go into vehicles. Don't expect anybody to rent a vehicle for you to take you to Abuja to protest. That is expensive. That is dangerous. That is risky. Okay? But when you localize your action, mobilize your brothers and sisters, mobilize your uncles and aunties, mobilize your cousins for action for Nigeria. You shut the country down continuously until justice is done. It is better. They will hear the temperature, and the children of Satan will flee. All right. Bola Tinubu claimed that he removed petrol subsidy, a subsidy that does not exist in the first place. There has never been any subsidy. He is part of the circles of lying, and he should be punished for his lies. Now, in 2012, hear what Bola Ahmed Tinubu wrote. 11th January 2012, removal of oil subsidy. President Jonathan breaks social contract with the people. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Hey, I hope I hear him. This here, what Bola Tinubu is lengthy, but I'm going to read it. So see the wayo, this man, he's a serial liar. He has lied so many times. I don't know why Nigerians keep on believing a liar, a rogue, a drug dealer. Bola, my friends, the federal government was baking a national cake wrapped in the scheme that would instantly make the new year a bitter one. Barely had the public wind itself from last year when government dropped a historic surprise on an unsuspecting nation. PPPRA issued a statement abolishing the fuel subsidy. By this slight piece of paper, the federal government breached the social contract with the people. This government, which owes its very existence to the people's desire to be governed by someone more humble than elitist, has turned its back on the collective will. By bureaucratic fiat, government made the most faithful economic decision any administration has made since the inception of the Fourth Republic. And it has done so with an arrogant wave of hand, as if issuing a minor regulation. Because of the terrible substance of the decision and the haughty style of its enactment, the people feel betrayed and angry. And this moment, we know not to where this anger will lead. In good conscience, we pray against violence. Also, in good conscience, it is the duty of every citizen to peacefully demonstrate and record their opposition to this draconian measure that is swiftly crippling the economy more than it will cure it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, really, he softly talked about violence, but today he has become a bokasa, militarized our country. But now, again, by taking this step, government has tossed the people into the depths of midnight sea. Government demands the people swims to safety under their own power, claiming the attendant hardship will build character and add efficiency to the national economy. It is easy to make these claims when one is dry, unsure. Government would have us believe that every hardship it manufactures for the people to endure is a good thing. This is a lie. The hardship they thrust upon the poor often bear no purpose than keep the poor, than keep them poor. This is such a time. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are a liar. Continuing, I am calling on the president, I'm calling on President Jonathan, an evil man. Yes, Bola Ahmed today, at the time, on 11th of January 2012, called President Jonathan an evil man. Look at the Satan, the demon, calling someone an evil man. Now, I do not believe he is perverse. However, the economic ideas controlling him are so misguided that they may have a perverse impact because he's slave to wrong-headed economics. The people will become enslaved to greater misery. This crisis will bear his name and will be his legacy. Ah! Oh la la! The people now pay a steep tax for voting him into office. The removal of the subsidy is Jonathan's tax. The situation shows that idea counts more than personalities. People may occupy office, but how that person performs depends on the ideas that occupy his mind. Though someday Nigeria will have to remove the subsidy, the time to do it is not now. Okay, now he is the one that was destined by God to remove it. The subsidy removal is ill-timed and violates the condition precedent necessary before such a decision is made. First, government needs to clean up and throw away the salad of corruption in NMPC. Bola Ahmed, who is the owner of Oando Oil, I've been asking this question. Nobody has been able to step forward to answer it. Then proceed to lay the foundation for a mass transit system in the railways and road network with long-term bonds and fully develop the energy sector towards revitalizing Nigeria's economy and easing the burden and burden any subsidy removal may have on the people. But we know this is about more than the fuel subsidy. It is about government ideas on the role of money in better lives, in better the lives of people, about relationship between government and the people, and about the primary objective of government interaction in the economy. It is about whom among the Nigerians' various social classes does government most value. This is why public reaction has been heated. It is not so much that people have to spend more money. It is because people feel shortchanged and sold out. Government seeks to convince us that Jonathan's tax is an unavoidable decision mandated by immutable economic principles. If you accept their premise, you must agree with their conclusion. However, their argument falters at its inception. There are few immutable economic principles. Economics is not an exact science with unbreakable rules like physics. Economics is no less subjective than politics. It was born an offshoot of politics, and there it remains. What government claims to be economic decisions are essentially political ones. As there is progressive politics, there is progressive economics. As there is elitist politics, there is elitist economics. It all depends on what and who in society government would rather favor. The Jonathan tax represents a new standard in elitism. Bear with me. We are still coming. This whole issue boils down to whether government believes the general public is worth a certain level of expenditure. It's like the situation where a man dates more than one woman. To each, he promises love, thus does nothing can be deduced from his words. Like the liar you are, Mr. Tinubu. However, we know how he will spend and dole more on one, and she will be the one he loves above others. All right. When banks were in distress, government produced billions of naira out of thin air, and in record time, it was explained the swift expenditure was needed to stop the banking system from imploding. There was no way that government would be bankrupted if the banks were to fall 20 times in the future. Government will jump 20 times to their rescue. It does so because it does so because government lives a conservative economics, placing it in close alliance, if not in collusion, with corporate power. However, because the distance between government and the people is far and genuine level of affection is low, government sees no utility in continuing to spend the current level of money on the people. In their mind, the people are not worth the money. Government sees more value in saving money than in saving the hard pressed masses. Yet, what does government actually save by this measure? The concept of a government that has unfettered ability to print own currency, needing to save that currency for fear of insolvency, is an anachronism. That is economic advisors. That is economic advisors would claim to this notion. It's like a person insisting on taking to the expressway in a horse-drawn carriage. For a government that prints its own currency, attempting to save it, attempting to save in that very currency in order to defend against the bankruptcy in that currency is a relic of the gold standard abandoned 40 years ago. If, wow, 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 wow. Okay, all right, abandoned 40 years ago. We are getting close to the end. All right, this brings us to another inconsistency. On one hand, government states that expenditure is unsustainable. Yet on another, it claims that the amount now earmarked for subsidy will be used to fund other people-oriented programs. However, two assertions cannot exist at the same time. If the subsidy is bankrupting us, then relocating the funds to different programs will be no less harmful. A banking expenditure retains quality, this quality whether used for the subsidy or another purpose. Earmarking the funds to something else will not make change the physical impact. If government is sincere about using the funds for other programs, then it must be sincere about the threatened insolvency. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, this is a very, very long thing that Bola Ahmed put. The same Bola Ahmed who came without, he couldn't even acknowledge cheers on the day he was swearing himself in. Well, he put Nigeria on the same level with Cameroon and Gabon, with the people, invalid leaders. They were reminding him his wife was giving him maybe perhaps a morphine injection, for pain or for whatever he is used to in order to calm him down. And on that show or ship, this is disgusting. Nigerians, when are you going to wake up? When are we going to wake up to really make our country the country it should be, not the banana republic that it is being turned into in our very, 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 very eyes right now. The world is laughing at us. Everybody is laughing at Nigeria. Nigeria has become a scandalous ridicule, and we are here. Even professors have become cows that they cannot. Buhari turned professors, including a Nobel laureate, into a cow who cannot think anymore. 100 and 200 and something million people under a man under the influence of drugs, a man who is so incoherent, a man who doesn't even know where he is most of the time. You call him Jagaban, a young, able-bodied man. Step forward, got into the race. Nigerians, especially the young people, voted for him as their president. He won the election. The cabals in Nigeria stood in his way. The fake traditional rulers stood in his way. The drivers, the criminal drivers of corporate Nigeria stood in his way. Ordinary people of Nigeria, over 200 million people, you got to stand up and let these people know that you own Nigeria. And this is what this whole thing, it's not about political party. It's not about your tribe. It's not about everything. It is about your life. It's about your children's life. It's about their future. And this is why you must wake up now. Don't let nobody tell you about religion. Nobody tell you about tribe. Nobody tell you about region. Nobody tell you about partisan political affiliation. It is about Nigeria now. It is about you. Because this so-called down subsidy, now the cost of buying petrol, nobody is giving you discount because of your tribe. Nobody is giving you, offering you any discount because of your religion. Nobody is giving you any discount because of your region or whatever, any other consideration. You are suffering, you are being pummeled by this person. So this is why something that must unite us, unite the people of Nigeria. The strike action, I'm not a fan of strike in Nigeria. I don't believe, because they can't sustain anything. So what I want people to do is this what this whole thing is a distraction from what is taking place. If you ask me, I would say don't even go on that damn strike. What you should do is shut Nigeria down and let the oppressors run. That is what. If we don't do it, because they have the Supreme Court is ready to do their bid. Unless you people are ready to take over everywhere, damn everything that they will do. So if you are ready in that and not be afraid of witches and stupid witches and wizards, powerless witches and wizards, and the likes of Asari Dokubo, then you get to be ready and to do what the French people do to recover their country. You have a right to do that in self-defense. And that is, God will not punish you because you didn't commit any crime. You didn't commit any act of treason. They are the treasonous people. That is why they are doing everything to protect themselves, abusing the might of Nigeria. The might of Nigeria, you have a bigger might as the people when you unite. The army, the police, the navy, the air force, when you combine with them, they are Nigerians, they are suffering. They are not faring better in everything. So that is why. So if this is why the way we protest must change. Stop renting buses. Don't call me to rent bus for you. I'm not renting anymore. Go out there if you love Nigeria. Protest. You are not doing it for me. You are doing it for yourself. You are doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your children. You are doing it for the future. So if you want to come and protest, come with a clean heart. Come with a heart of sacrifice. Come with a body of sacrifice. Come with a mind of sacrifice. Don't wait for nobody to give you any money because it's not going to come. It's either you do it or you don't do it, or you keep on suffering and they will continue to deal with you the way. What is coming now is much. Yeah, so it is up to you to decide what you want to do. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. But here, what the children of Africa, children of descendants of slaves are talking, the children of Bob Marley, what they are saying. They went to South Africa. They had a lot of fun. You hear them, Ziggy, what he and his brothers were saying. If those children are so interested in your continent, in Africa, you who is there, They are fighting all kinds of tooth and nail, to project the image of Africa. You, Nigerian leaders, African leaders, you are destroying Africa for it, making it vulnerable for a takeover, violent takeover for that matter. Shame on you. So we got to wake up. We got why can't we wake up and make Africa the Africa we want? Not the Africa where people will steal our resources, go to foreign land and invest it. Is this any white man bringing money stolen from America to Nigeria to invest? Yes.
Imagine my father being there. My father is the reason why I love football. Father is the reason why I love music. Father is the reason why I love Africa. His influence on us, it all came together there. All in one place at one time. It wasn't about me or my thing really. I wanted to experience this for him. Hope that his spirit was happy with us being there and being a part of it. And being, physically present since he was not, He was always on my mind. He was always a part of this.
So, Africa, unite. Unite for the benefit of our children. Africa, unite. Oh, Africa, unite. Africa, unite.
Yes, Africa unite, Nigeria unite, Nigeria unite. Who the cap fit? Let's give it to him. Who the cap fit? That's for me. Who the cap fit?